Hitler versus Russia: the unseen history. The history of Hitler and Russia is complex and multifaceted. It primarily revolves around the events leading up to and during World War II, as well as the ideological conflict between Nazi Germany and the Soviet Union. Adolf Hitler came to power in Germany in 1933 and soon began his aggressive expansionist policies, seeking to unite all German-speaking people under one banner and acquire living space in the East. The Soviet Union, under the leadership of Joseph Stalin, was one of Hitler's primary targets for expansion. In 1939, Germany and the Soviet Union signed the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact, a non-aggression treaty that divided Eastern Europe into spheres of influence for both nations. However, in June 1941, Hitler broke the treaty and launched a surprise invasion of the Soviet Union, known as Operation Barbarossa. The invasion of the Soviet Union was the largest and bloodiest conflict in human history, resulting in the deaths of millions of people on both sides. The Soviet Union ultimately emerged victorious, due in large part to the harsh winter conditions that decimated the German army and the Soviet Union's massive industrial and human resources. The war between Nazi Germany and the Soviet Union had a profound impact on the course of history. It contributed to the eventual defeat of Nazi Germany and the rise of the Soviet Union as a superpower. It also led to the deaths of tens of millions of people and the devastation of much of Eastern Europe. The events of World War II and the ideological conflict between fascism and communism continue to shape international relations to this day. However, in June 1941, Hitler broke the pact and launched a surprise attack on the Soviet Union. The invasion was initially successful, with German forces rapidly advancing deep into Soviet territory. However, the harsh Russian winter, combined with fierce resistance from Soviet troops and partisan fighters, turned the tide of the war. The Battle of Stalingrad, fought between 1942 and 1943, was a turning point in the war. The Soviet Union was able to repel the German advance and launch a counteroffensive that pushed the Germans back towards their own borders. Ultimately, Hitler's invasion of the Soviet Union proved to be a disastrous mistake. The fighting was brutal and resulted in the deaths of millions of soldiers and civilians on both sides. In the end, the Soviet Union emerged victorious, and the defeat of Nazi Germany marked the end of World War II in Europe.